Happy Sunday. Um, so summarizing things, there's too much to summarize up here. Right now we're in a time where it's going to come from something inside of us, in a place from passion and lived experiences and thoughts that have been in our mind and things that have been ingrained inside of us that we know to be true, that don't fit in the scale of man or religion or things we've been taught. And I posted the other day that I'm a loner, but seldom do I feel lonely. And so what we need is for people to start looking within. Why doesn't this sit right with you? Why are you beating yourself up about not going to college? Why, are you feeling a lack because you were adopted and you don't know who your parents are? Why is there a lack with anything that you are doing in your life that does not make you feel whole? It's time to start looking for what it is that makes you whole, and everything is in our control and in our power. It's that inner knowing within us that will save us all and end that self-created suffering. And this past supermoon, which we'll get into, I'm sure in due time, we'll get into the moons and the places of the planet and where everything is supposed to be and how it is and what we should try to hone at that time. But when it comes down to it, there's an activation that happens in our lives in every stage and every point. But it's like that quiet time to sit and to listen. A lot of those times, those activations are a great loss or a lost job or a lost family member or somebody cheated on you or you didn't get the job you thought you were supposed to get. And each of these things is designed to make us activate to the next level. And as I'm learning and growing and seeing that, some of us won't even be in this lifetime. So that's why I have not started these videos yet. Just in terms of helping others and guiding them along the ascension process, whatever the words are for it even. And that's another problem I'm having too, is like, what are the words? How do we put this? But what it comes down to is just, if you feel in your heart that what the system was teaching you, that what your parents were teaching you does not sit well with you and does not make you whole. If you are in a relationship that is not making you feel whole and full, it's only simply due to you're not knowing yourself. And know thyself is a word that through every one of my lives and the planet I came from and everything that has to do with anything, you set yourself symbolisms and signs, knowing that you couldn't completely keep ingrained the knowledge that you knew until you woke up and remembered in this life. And so for me, it's the 26 written in Roman numerals. It's the Buddhist head. It's the Poseidon that's on the wall. It's the anchor, my symbolism. It's all these things that I know that I needed that in the past life to make myself remember even quicker. And it's the news today that I have fulfilled my karmic cycle. And with that being said, wake up. Activation, light codes, the numbers, pay attention to numbers, pay attention to symbolisms, pay attention to how you feel in your gut, because it's inside of us. Jesus Christ is real. But when he came to this planet, we were never meant to worship him. And this is coming from somebody baptized Episcopalian, raised Christian and in Baptist church and went to mass on Christmas and did all that. And, the spiritual awakening process, folks, is nothing like as pretty as it may be painted to you. It's really you'll find yourself a lot of time just like isolating and wondering why, you don't have a lot of people around you or you can't handle high energy. And, for me, it's like going out to bars and stuff. I'm starting to recall that I just don't enjoy, that kind of sucks my energy. So what it comes down to is like the activation, the seeking and knowing thyself, hitting that absolute low, in order for some time. So the main thing that came to me from my spirit guides, which before I called Jesus, and he also is one of my guides, but he said, bring me the sacrifice of your time and see how abundantly I bless you and your loved ones. So it's that sitting with thyself and knowing thyself. That's the activation for the beginning process and stage of the ascension. It's the beginning process of the awakening. And a lot of people are already there. Are you a vegetarian? Are you a vegan? Even if you are Christian and go to church and you're faithful in your religion, you are already there. That's what kept alive in me and planted the seed for this whole thing to set off. But either way, it's been inside of you since you've been young. God, it's a beautiful thing to be passionate about. So I haven't known where to start. I set my intention long ago, and specifically wrote it down on a supermoon before the last about, spreading the message. But then there was the fear of the hypocrisy. There was the fear of people that know me as my old self or seeing certain action behaviors that aren't in tune and all the vibration of somebody, the person that I want to be, the person that can help people. And so I've been sitting here thinking that I've been like this hypocrite, or that nobody's let me forget my past, or that making sure also too that my intentions are not to be in the spotlight or famous, or that I'm not going to pay attention to how many likes I get or how many people come there. And this whole overthinking that comes with being an empath. And there's no denying it anymore. Once we wake up, I live by a certain set of rules and standards. Find your rules and standards. Be a good person. Have a good heart. Mean harm to no one. And the abundance will find you. There's no more chasing after it. But you're not going to find it in man and in things that are just handed down to you that you're supposed to accept to be wellness. So activation. I'm not exactly sure where it comes from. For me, my activation was that fulfillment and that recognition of beauty for ashes, that everything I had gone through was for a higher purpose to activate me to a whole other level of deeper understanding. So just look, just ask, just pray, meditate, just trust yourself and your gut, because all these codes have been embedded in our souls. It's a matter of activation and activating them. And God, it's an overabundant superhighway. Once you start to realize that your mind is a computer, and it's a hardware that we have inside of us that we were born with, and we just have to download new software. And just get up on it. If there's something inside of you that has told you that things are not right, you do not feel well, I have this college degree, I have this money, I have these things, I have these looks, and I have everything else, but why am I still not happy? It's because you have to remember and wake up. It's time to wake up.